Welcome to Fox Political, your trusted source for daily news and analysis.
Vladimir Putin has defended the war in Ukraine, saying it's made Russia stronger, but
Today, we dive into one of the most complex and urgent geopolitical questions of our time. Can Donald Trump stop the war in Ukraine? As the conflict between Russia and Ukraine grinds on, the global community is grappling with the devastating human toll, rising energy costs, and geopolitical instability. Donald Trump has made bold claims that he could end the war quickly. But how realistic is this promise?
In possible peace talks brokered by President-elect Donald Trump.
In this video, we'll explore Trump's proposed strategies, his track record with international diplomacy, and the current state of the Ukraine conflict. Stay tuned as we unravel the political, military, and diplomatic dimensions of this high-stakes issue. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth analysis. The Ukraine conflict, a recap of the crisis. The war in Ukraine began in February 2022, when Russia launched a full-scale invasion following years of tensions. The roots of the conflict trace back to 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea and supported separatist movements in eastern Ukraine. Despite these efforts, the war shows no signs of ending. Russia remains determined to achieve its objectives, while Ukraine, bolstered by international support, continues to resist. The question now is whether a new approach could bring about peace. Trump's bold claims, ending the war in 24 hours. Donald Trump has repeatedly asserted that he could end the war in Ukraine within 24 hours. His confidence stems from his self-proclaimed skills as a dealmaker and his history of engaging directly with world leaders, including Russian President Vladimir Putin. Critics, however, question the feasibility of this plan. The war is deeply rooted in complex political, cultural, and territorial disputes. Resolving these issues would likely require more than a single day of negotiations. Trump's relationship with Putin, a diplomatic advantage. One of Trump's key arguments is that his rapport with Vladimir Putin could pave the way for a resolution. During his presidency, Trump often spoke positively about Putin, emphasizing the importance of maintaining dialogue with Russia. If Trump were to leverage this relationship, it could create an opening for negotiations. However, the success of such an effort would depend on whether Putin views Trump as a reliable intermediary or merely as a political figure with limited influence. The challenges of negotiating peace. Ending the war in Ukraine is easier said than done. Any peace agreement would need to address several contentious issues, including territorial integrity. Ukraine insists on reclaiming all occupied territories, including Crimea, while Russia has shown no willingness to relinquish control. Economic sanctions. Russia demands the lifting of sanctions, but the West sees these measures as leverage to pressure Moscow into compliance. Trump would need to navigate these complex issues while balancing the interests of multiple stakeholders, including Ukraine, Russia, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and the American public. Could Trump's America First doctrine play a role? Trump's foreign policy during his presidency was characterized by his America First doctrine, which prioritized U.S. interests over global commitments. Critics argue that such a move could embolden Russia and set a dangerous precedent. However, Trump supporters believe that his pragmatic approach could break the deadlock and bring an end to the war. The role of North Atlantic Treaty Organization in Europe. Trump's relationship with North Atlantic Treaty Organization has been complicated. While he criticized member states for not contributing enough to defense spending, his administration ultimately reinforced North Atlantic Treaty Organization's presence in Eastern Europe. However, a unified Western approach would be crucial for any lasting resolution. Without the support of North Atlantic Treaty Organization and the European Union, Trump's efforts to end the war could face significant obstacles. The humanitarian and economic stakes. The war in Ukraine has had devastating humanitarian and economic consequences. Millions of Ukrainians have been displaced and the country's infrastructure has been severely damaged. Ending the war would not only save lives, but also stabilize global markets and alleviate economic pressures. However, achieving this goal will require addressing the root causes of the conflict, not just its symptoms. What do experts say? Experts are divided on whether Trump's approach could succeed. Some believe that his direct engagement with Putin could create an opportunity for dialogue, while others argue that his policies could undermine Ukraine's position. Diplomats emphasize that any peace process must be led by Ukraine with the support of its allies. Imposing a settlement that favors Russia could undermine Ukraine's sovereignty and set a dangerous precedent for future conflicts. Ultimately, the success of Trump's plan would depend on his ability to build trust among all parties and address the underlying issues driving the conflict. The broader implications of peace. Ending the war in Ukraine would have far-reaching implications for global geopolitics. A negotiated settlement could reset U.S.-Russia relations, stabilize Europe, and reduce tensions in other hotspots such as Taiwan and the South China Sea. For Trump, successfully brokering peace could solidify his legacy as a global statesman and boost his prospects for re-election. For the world, it could mark the beginning of a new era of diplomacy and cooperation. Can Donald Trump stop the war in Ukraine? The answer remains uncertain. While his bold claims and unconventional approach have sparked debate, the complexities of the conflict pose significant challenges. What's clear is that the stakes couldn't be higher. The outcome of this crisis will shape the future of international relations, global security, and the lives of millions of people. What do you think? Can Trump deliver on his promise, or is peace in Ukraine beyond reach? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Fox Political for more in-depth coverage of the stories that matter most.